No music today. All our pianists are out of town. I could have sang, but I suggested that, and that was not a good idea, according to a lot of folks. But first off, thank you so much for taking time from your day to come. Today's just going to be another great day. We're honored to serve our 21st veteran and family. Miss Susie, would you please escort First Sergeant Trevor Peterson, his wife Laura, and family down, please? At this time, I'd like to ask you to please stand for your national anthem. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Captain Bill.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you. How many of you are here for the first time today? Show your hands. Awesome, awesome. Let me tell you about Captain Bill. Many of you don't know Captain Bill. He's going to get tired of me saying this, but I just can't say it enough. Captain Bill lives in Madisonville. He was the longest held enlisted POW of the Vietnam War, 2,703 days, Captain Bill Robinson. There's no one that is more qualified to lead us in the pledge than Captain Bill, I can tell you that. What you're going to witness today, first of all, a welcome to all of you. It's what we refer to as the passing of the leash. It's a ceremony that allows us to honor so many people that have a hand in producing the wonderful dog that's going to be presented today. That includes our volunteers. If you're a volunteer for Smoky Mountain Service Dogs, would you please stand? Thank you. We have over 100 community volunteers that assist us in puppy raising and socializing, respite fostering our dogs, grant writing, bookkeeping. We have 3 wonderful professional trainers. It's their livelihood. They're our paid employees, and you'll see today the types of dogs that they're able to produce. With that, a lot of you probably don't understand what a mobility assistance service dog does. And that's the type of dog we train. Typically, our veterans may have received traumatic brain injury, limb loss, or other injuries where mobility and balance are compromised. So that's the type of dog we train. Our dogs receive, over a period of about 2 years, 1,500 to 1,800 hours of training. And we teach them many, many tasks. And I say we like I'm a trainer. They won't even let me take a dog from the kennel. But we have a wonderful dog, Hooligan, and Lori Bird, our community events leader, is here. And Hooligan will demonstrate some of the tasks that all of our dogs are taught to do. I encourage you, as you watch the dog perform the task, imagine maybe you're a Bradley Walker and you've taken your prosthetics off in the evening, or you've left your telephone upstairs, those types of things. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Lori Burt.
Thank you. Let me just move my little bag of tricks up here. This is Hooligan. He is our canine ambassador. He's about 3.5 years old, and he loves showing some of the tasks that all of our dogs do. I don't know if Mike mentioned this already, but Hooligan, all of our dogs know all of these tasks, and there's a lot more that we won't be able to demonstrate here. So he's not the best in show. He's just an example of what all of our dogs can do. One of the things I like to start off with is credit card. If you're up at the cash register fumbling through your wallet, you drop your credit card, that can be a big deal to bend down and get up safely. Get it? Yes. And I don't know if you all can tell, but this floor up here is extremely slick, so that's not easy. It wouldn't have been easy for me to pick that credit card up. Take it. Another thing that all of our dogs can do is carry small items like a medicine bag or a little grocery bag. Good boy, it's a yes. So you'll see he's very interested in my treat pouch. We train all of our dogs using positive methods. They work for food. Wait a minute. Get it. Put it. Get it. Put it. Good boy. Pull. Pull. There you go. I got your leash on it. Pull. So that, of course, you can have your laundry. They can put it in the basket for you, then pull that basket over to the washing machine. If you'd like, they can take those items and put them into a washer, get them out of the dryer for you. So all kinds of things that help you around the house. I'm going to move my cellular device, and some kind person in the audience will call me, and you'll see that without even the word, he knows what to do. Yes. So if you're out in public and you've had to release your dog to pick something up for you, then you need to get the leash back in your hands. Leash. So those are just a few of the many, many tasks that our dogs can do to help. Thank you.
Uli's getting almost too good, you notice? He almost doesn't need the commands. Pretty soon he'll just walk in carrying his bag and do his whole thing, take it and leave. We have some very special folks here today. I'd like to ask the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association folks to please stand, would you? Let us recognize you for your service. Thank you. They've been there, done that. They know what's going on. Welcome home, all of you. Welcome home. I'd also like to recognize there's some folks here from the Military Order of the Purple Heart, of which Bradley Walker is a member. Would you please stand? You don't have to stand, Bradley. Thank you. And one of the gentlemen is a Korean War veteran. Without our donors, obviously, we wouldn't be able to do what we do because, of course, we provide these wonderful K-9 Star veterans at no cost. We have some wonderful donors here today. Weigel's, did the Weigel's people make it? If you go into a Weigel store anytime between now and Veterans Day, you're going to see a lot about Smoky Mountain Service Dogs. They have a great fundraiser going on for us. We have the folks from Citibank, and I'll talk about them in a little bit. Thank you, all of you. We also recognize that we have a lot of individual donors here. You're greatly, greatly appreciated. We pride ourselves on being appropriate custodians of your generosity towards these veterans. Mark, would you play video 2, please?
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Thank you. There's a lot going on in our world today. It's a good reminder that we are all very, very blessed to live in this country. I'd like to introduce a couple other heroes. Daniel Belcher, Air Force Special Forces, and his dog Stryker. Daniel. my girlfriend Daniel's daughter, Peanut, and Michelle Belcher. Over here, of course, Bradley, Anna Walker, Lincoln, and Bella. Thank you, Bradley. If you are a veteran, please stand. Thank you. Let me tell you about our recipient today. First Sergeant Trevor Peterson. Trevor, our man today. We're going to get you today, buddy. Trevor was born in Steenburg, New York, joined the U.S. Army right out of high school. Served our country for 22 years. His military training, including a lot of communications, signal schools, explosive ordnance disposal schools, advanced IED defeat, advanced chemical and biological agent training, advanced nuclear and radiological training, and several leadership courses. As you know, a first sergeant has been there, done that. On several occasions during his career, he served with other nations' military personnel. He served in Kosovo, he served in Iraq, he served in Afghanistan, and he was serving with the Polish Combat Brigade when he received his injuries. Trevor also, I wasn't going to say this, he also spent 7 months at Walter Reed and has endured 46 surgical procedures. Trevor's married to Laura. Laura's a U.S. Army veteran. She served as a medical technician with a MASH unit, and she was deployed to Croatia at one point in time. They have 2 wonderful children. They have a daughter, Morgan, who's a graduate of Western Carolina University with a degree in natural resource management. Morgan is currently studying at Armstrong State, pursuing a master's degree in international public health and epidemiology. Jacob, their son, is a junior at the University of Tennessee. He's a music major, and he's a member of the Pride of the Southland Marching Band. And our football team needs them to step it up a little bit, I guess. So, Mark, if you would, our trainers put together wonderful videos of the training camp. The way our process works, after they've been approved by our client applications team, and we do a home visit on each potential recipient. We got to know them, know their family, understand their environment in which they live. We come back and we'll look at our dogs. We'll say, well, Trevor he's got balance, stability issues. We need him a big old dog. So we look at the skill sets on all of our dogs, of which we have 20 in training right now. And we'll do what we call the match. We'll say, the best dog that we have for Trevor Peterson is Gage. And then we will custom train that dog another 2 or 3 months on the task that will be most helpful to that veteran. Then the veteran comes to our boot camp. And we don't take it easy on them. I mean, goodness gracious, Heather, she's like a drill sergeant with them. And once they spend their 10 days to 2 weeks and take and pass a public access test, then we can schedule a wonderful event like today. So Mark, would you please introduce Trevor from his training camp video?
I'd rather stand on the edge of a cliff
and hang my toes over a bit, and then jump when they dare me, even if it scares me and I get hurt. I'd rather build my wings on the way down, do my best not to fall to the ground, and then laugh at my mistakes, 'cause they're only lessons I'll learn. I'd rather burn with desire deep in my soul and love like a fire that's out of control, and laugh and dance and fall, chance and kiss. I'd rather live my whole life with a sense of abandon, squeeze every drop out no matter what happens, and I wonder what I've missed. I'd rather I guess I could just play it safe and forget about love, hope, and faith, with my eye on the shoreline, keeping my boat tight and staying home. Oh, but I'll never discover new land by keeping my feet on the sand. No, I'd rather set sail and get carried away by the storm. I'd rather burn with desire deep in my soul and love like a fire that's out of control, and laugh and dance and fall and chance and kiss. I'd rather live my whole life with a sense of abandon, squeeze every drop out no matter what happens, and I wonder what I've missed. I'd rather risk. I'd rather burn with desire deep in my soul and love like a fire that's out of control. Live my whole life with a sense of abandon, squeeze every drop out no matter what happens, and I wonder what I've missed. Oh, I just can't resist the chance to risk. Love and laugh and dance and fall and chance and kiss. I'd rather rest. Rather
They're getting really good at this. Heather, could you come down and have Cassie still hold the dog, but Cassie and Susan?
All right. So, Trevor and Laura, on behalf of our entire organization, I would like to give you each a heartfelt and very sincere thank you for your service to our country, first and foremost. Laura, you've been an amazing support person through this entire application, interview, training process, and we know it's lengthy. More importantly, you have clearly been an amazing support person for Trevor as a wife. Your commitment to him and to his well-being shines through very brightly. Trevor, you're very blessed to have her. I cannot tell you what an amazing person you are and what a pleasure it has been to work with you over the past few weeks. While at times you may have felt like you were struggling to master a skill, we watched Gage patiently wait for you to figure things out. His eyes intently locked on yours. There is clearly an amazing connection between you and your new service dog that we as trainers don't create. And this is exactly why we are here today. So without further delay, I would like to present to you this official certificate of course completion. I want to welcome you to our Smoky Mountain Service Dog family, and we wish you and Gage a long and successful partnership. Congratulations. I've got one other certificate here for you, Trevor. As you have already met and been into Natural Pet Supply, they have a location in Knoxville as well as Johnson City. They have agreed to provide every Smoky Mountain Service Dog graduate with dog food for life. So here is your certificate from Natural Pet Supply.
Let's see, 21 dogs, $30 a month. That's a huge, huge blessing, Natural Pet Supply. At this point, I'd like to invite Joanne Berggren and representatives of the Tellico Village Quilting Club up.
On behalf of the Village Quilters and the Quilts of Valor Foundation, I offer our sincere thanks and appreciation for your service to our country. In recognition of 22 years of service in the United States Army, we have a special civil award for you. It's called a Quilt of Valor. This special patriotic quilt is made in 3 layers. The top, with all of its colors, shapes, and fabrics, represents all of us as individuals. The middle batting layer represents our hope that this quilt will bring you warmth and comfort while wrapping you in thanks. The back layer is the strength that supports all the layers of the quilt. It represents our strength and the strength and support of your family during your service. All of the stitches within are with our gratitude. We hope it will provide you healing comfort and warmth throughout the years. We would be honored for you to have this tangible token of our thanks, along with our hope that it will always be a reminder that your fellow Americans remain deeply, deeply grateful for your service, sacrifice, and valor.
Beautiful. Think you ever gonna get your dog? You know, Trevor and his family live in Sharps Chapel, and we have another wonderful, wonderful member of our team that also lives in Sharps Chapel. I'd like to invite Bob Underwood up.
Well, it's all downhill from here, buddy. It's really it's hard to say thank you. That's only 2 words. So I truly thank you for your service, sacrifice, you for your service and support. Without you guys, I couldn't do this. Mike calls it whittling, and we try to call it wood carving. But anyway, it's personalized. I hope that in all due respect, it represents you. I couldn't do 22 years in 2 weeks. It's just too much. But it's perfect. Thank you, and I hope you. I hope you carry it with pride.
Thank you, sir.
Here, brother.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you, Mr. Bob. I'd like to invite, we're not quite done with you yet. Mr. Ken, would you come up, please?
Trevor, I made this cross, and this cross represents the love that everyone in this room has for you. But more importantly, it also represents the love that God has for you. Please accept it on all of our behalfs. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Ken. Now it's time to recognize the wonderful volunteers. We are going to show you this dog shortly, but if you are a Smoky Mountain Service dog volunteer and you worked with Gage, would you please come up front? Jane, you need to get on this end down here, dear. There's a lot of heart standing right here, I'll tell you that. Goodness. Heather would tell you that probably over 100 sets of hands touches each of our dogs. Susan, would you and Cassie please escort Mr. Gage down? We shall pass the leash. These dogs are incredible. They never forget. Homecoming. Thank you very much. Jane, you stay right there. Y'all may be seated. Jane puppy raised this wonderful dog. Now you talk about a tough job. Everybody gets real excited and they get this little 8-week-old puppy. Then all of a sudden at about 6 months, they figured out they've got a 60-pound teenager that doesn't want to do anything but pull. So they do a wonderful job with our puppies, and it's just a huge thing for them to do that, and they understand where the dog's going as they're going through that process, and they're honored today, I can guarantee you, to be a part of this ceremony. At this point, I'd like to invite our friends from Citibank up. Johnson City, this is a great story. Had a call one day from Citibank up in Johnson City, said, we'd like to raise some money for you. We'd like to sell some T-shirts. Can we use your logo? And I said, well, absolutely. So they went on and did their thing and called a little bit later and says, we'd like to come down and give you some money. And I said, well, that's great. That's really great. Well, they came down from Johnson City and left us with $14,000. I said, y'all really did sell some T-shirts, didn't you? They said, yeah, about 700. And not only that, last year, they did a repeat. And without folks helping us like that, when we present a dog to a veteran, it's about a $25,000 dog. And we just couldn't do it. So we're extremely appreciative of all of our donors. And Jane, if you'd please pass the leash to our Citibank folks. Chad Berry, veteran. Well, I guess I'll go. Thank you, Jane. You may be seated. Trevor, you ready for your dog, buddy? You'd please, Laura and Trevor, come up, please. I'm going to hand the mic to Chad, and with whatever words you would like, you may pass the gauge.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. It's been a pleasure to get to know Mike and the entire team with Smoky Mountain Service Dogs over the last 2 years. One of the most important things that we have done is just been able to come down here, and this is my, I believe, 4th time coming to see a passing of the leash. It's just absolutely an incredible journey being able to work with you guys, and we look forward to continuing this partnership over the next many, many years. So thank you very much. And First Sergeant, congratulations on this day. Thank you for your service.
I think the dog's home now. Dog works for food, just like, most of us.
There's a little surprise going on here. Heather and Susan, would you all come up here, please?
Do I need talking to this, or? I can be loud.
Wait, just try. You want me to hold it for you? Want me to hold it for you?
Not really. Can we try this without the microphone? Okay. All right, can everybody in the back hear me? All right. The guys on motorcycles, can you hear me? Everything's good. Anybody that spent any time in the military understands that we have plenty of memorabilia from our careers that we bring home with us. And there's something from my career that I want to pass on to the trainers so that they have it for their new facility that's getting ready to be built. And I want it to be in their office or some training area where they can see it each day. Jake, can you bring that up to me, please? When I got to Walter Reed, it took a couple months before I actually started physical therapy. Prior to that, I laid flat in a bed. Then I finally got moved to a chair once in a while. And then after a few months, physical therapy. And throughout the physical therapy, and then being in the hospital again the following year for a few more months, and another 20 surgeries and more physical therapy. So for about 2.5 years, I had physical therapy and occupational therapy so that I could function. And one of the people that I did physical therapy with at Walter Reed was Senator Bob Dole. One day I was asked, hey, you want to go to a birthday party? And being a fat kid that likes cake, I said, yes, I would love to go to a birthday party. And I wasn't allowed to eat at that time because of my I saw Senator Dole again, and it was in his suite, and they take really good care of senators. And I'll revert back to calling myself enlisted swine because, well, my room compared to the senator's room was very different. But the neat thing is that one of the items they gave us were these flags that had been flown over the Capitol building. And they gave us a certificate with it saying that it had been flown over the Capitol building. So I want my trainers who trained myself and Gage to have this for their office or someplace where they can see it, to remind them that this is an extension of that physical therapy that I received in 2009 through 2012, just before I was medically retired. And this training that you guys are doing, it's a continuation of that. I want you guys to understand that saying thank you doesn't cut it. I didn't know what else to do. I got thinking about what can I do, and all of a sudden this popped in my head of, hey, I've got this piece of memorabilia that might be able to say to you guys, thank you, and be a reminder to you that what you're doing changes lives, and we appreciate it. So Heather, Mike, thank you. Everybody else, thank you.
We're doing a good thing. Trevor is with the Smoky Mountain Service Dog Board of Directors. Please stand. We have a working board. You don't come to our board and kind of sit and show up once a month. So we're a working board, and I guarantee you, where we've come from, where we started, and Elaine was there in the very beginning, and Deb and Carla and Bill and Larry and Romano and Judy and Pat and Susie, our first chair, Bill Goyert. It's a pleasure to work with all of them. We're on a common journey here, and you saw the result today. What's Thank you so much, board members. Trevor's number 21. Mark, would you please introduce this group to all of our recipients?
I've been a walking heartache, I've made a mess of me. The person that I've been lately ain't who I wanna be, but you stay here right beside me and watch as the storm blows through, and I need you. 'Cause God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt, and for when I think I lost my way, there God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. And for when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. Gave me you. He gave me
I asked Michael if he would let me tell you all something that's very special that just happened recently. First of all, as the veteran liaison, I can't tell you what a wonderful journey it is to take one-on-one that I get the pleasure of doing with these young men. It blesses me to the bottom of my heart, and every time I see it, I've had to stop myself from jumping up out of the seat to just say, yay, look what our dogs are doing to change these handsome and wonderful men's lives. I want to tell you we have, in my role as the veteran liaison, in order to help these young men get their VA veteran service dog benefits, and that's a real journey because every VA is a different VA. So you go through a different procedure with every hospital. And by the way, Trevor, your card's in the mail. You will have the benefit card for him by November the 10th. In doing so, I was able to meet two ladies in Washington, D.C. in the central office. And one of the ladies is named Heather Looper. So there is a new program called the Mental Health Mobility Program. And we are able to get benefits from a secondary side, not just mobility assistance side. Heather talked directly to Justin Jerkovsky and his dog Thor. So in her learning about Smoky Mountain service dogs, we got a call from her asking permission to let one of our recipients, Justin, who had just gotten his benefits, to travel to the White House to meet with the Secretary of Veterans Affairs personally to represent service dog organizations. So I'm pleased to tell you I have official pictures. We cannot release them, but Justin, at this point, we're going to try to do so. So if you're on our volunteer list, please know that there's a photo coming that shows him in the Secretary of Veterans Affairs office and with him meeting the dog. It's wonderful. But the thing I want you to know most, for Smoky Mountain service dogs to be as small as we are here in East Tennessee, that is, in the service dog world, that is outstanding because most of the time they are chosen from the large organizations that are right around the Washington, D.C. area. So through Heather and her admiration for in support of our program, she was able to get Justin in that role. She said she was nervous when he first got there. She met him, and she had to get him over to the Veterans Affairs office. And she said that she was nervous because now they had crowds, they had a protest going on, and she knew that he was relatively new in getting his service dog. So she was nervous for him. She said that he and that dog were absolutely phenomenal team. She said, I've never seen a dog as well trained as that, and she's seen lots of service dogs. In addition to that, and in closing, so he represented Smoky Mountain service dogs beautifully, and we are so proud of him. In addition to that, though, you must know how difficult it was for him because he said until he had gotten his service dog Thor, he said, if you'd have called me and asked me to go to Washington, D.C., I would have said, oh, yes, that's wonderful. Thank you for the honor. And he said, I would have called you back the very next day and said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. He said, I'm here because of my dog Thor. So that's what we do, is we change lives. Thank you.
Just a couple of closing comments, and then we'll close with a prayer. You may have seen as you came in outside, we have Bill Taylor, an artist architect, as I've learned. We're getting ready to break ground on our new Veteran Canine Training Center. I've got my shovel sharpened, and they say, well, keep it in the garage unless you want to stick it in the ground, nothing happens. So probably in the first quarter, we're hopeful of breaking ground. We own the 10 acres now. We have a 6-dog kennel. We're going to build an 18-dog world-class kennel. But more importantly, we're going to build a Veteran Canine Training Center, so we've got a place to train when they come to us, and where we can take a dog from the kennel to the training center. We've been blessed. We had a wonderful fundraiser night for Patriots. We raised about $100,000. Altered State Christian Ladies Clothing Store chain stepped up with $175,000. We had $225,000 from the American Valor Foundation, the Family Foundation of Chris Kyle, the American Sniper, and we had also been saving some money aside. And just this week, the Haslam family, Pilot Flying J, stepped up with $50,000. So we got the money to build it. We're going to build it. This Sunday evening, we have another veteran arriving, James Radakovich. I call him Radar. And he arrives this Sunday for training with his Matchdog Summit. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it'll go very well, and we'll be having another passing leash before long. And we may do one addition before the end of the year. If we do, that'll be 7 dogs. That's a huge year for us. What we hope to do with our new facility is essentially double the number of dogs that we can place with wounded veterans. With that said, thank you so much for your time, for your financial assistance, and all of you volunteers, the foundation of our service house. Goodness gracious. I'd like to invite Jim Goyard up to close us with a prayer.
Good afternoon. For those of you that are new to our passing of the leash ceremony, this is why we do what we do. Thank you all for joining us on this very special day. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we lift up to you each man and woman who has given service to our nation, especially those who, because of their sacrifice, have returned wounded. Be with them in their darkest hours. When they feel weak, give them comfort. When they feel despondent, give them your hope. When they feel like giving up, give them your strength. Bless this family and the hero we honor today. We are humbled by your service and sacrifice, Trevor, and pray this magnificent service dog, Gage, brings a measure of peace and happiness that you so deserve. Amen.
Thank you. That's it till the next time. God bless. Have a safe week. Thank you.